There are different kinds of data that companies collect. There can be company data with regard to which are performance-related data, meaning it's not personal data. Now, for those types of data sets, usually it's not too much of a concern, right? Again, key issue to note is that if you have outsourced the data collection to a third party, to make sure that you have the rights over the data that's being collected and that the third party is carrying out the data collection in a responsible manner without using any sort of espionage or other forms of illegal data collection activities. Now, when you're collecting personal data, though, that's when you need to be particularly careful, because in Singapore we have the Personal Data Protection Act, and that means that organizations who do collect significant amounts of data need to be aware of the fact that they should have internal policies and processes in line with the Personal Data Protection Act. And that means that you can collect personal data provided you've got the individual's consent. And consent must be consent which is tied to purpose. You need to make sure that the individual knows that the data is going to be used by the company to be processed and to analyze the data, for example, to try and customize services to the needs of the customer. All data that you collect, in particular personal data in this context, needs to be collected and stored in a secure manner. You have to comply with the security principle. Now, in addition to that, you need to also have policies that comply with all of the other obligations and rights of the individuals, because an individual has a right to access their personal data. You need to have protocol that will enable individual to amend and correct their personal data as well. And if that data is going to be transferred to any third party, you need to make sure that you've got your transfer obligations complied with. So quite a few obligations just under PDPA alone. These are very important issues to bear in mind and some of the key risks when you enter into any sort of data collection exercise.